My name is Amy Hancock, and I'm an official in the Sun Country region of USA Volleyball. I'm also an elementary school PE teacher who likes making resources that help people out. I felt like there was a need to create a guide to show you how to set up a score sheet for a real match and then to use video and to score a set of that actual match instead of just using pretend scenarios up in our heads. It's not the same as scoring courtside, but I try to make it as realistic as I can. So first off, some quick ground rules. I'm going to be writing in red so that you can see everything clearly on the screen, but in a real match, we would always write in black or blue ink. All words on the score sheet should be written in capital letters. And now we're going to start filling out all of the highlighted fields of the score sheet. So these are items we should complete before the match even starts. So for this match, our boys were playing in the North Texas Challenge, and they were in Dallas, and they were playing at the MAC. Okay, if you are a Sun Country region person, you might be playing at the Apex in Lubbock or courtside up in Amarillo, maybe the Dodge Jones in Abilene. Because this is a boys tournament, we would X out men and juniors. If it was a girls event, we would do women instead. They were playing in pool phase 3, and they were in a 16 pool or a 14 pool, so that means 6 matches need to be played. This was match 4 out of 6. The level they were playing was 18 club, and the club was important there because there was also an 18 open division at this boys tournament. For Sun Country region, you might see age group levels such as 12s, 13s, 14s, 15s, and you might see tiers. So the Division 1 tier would be for your 16, 17, and 18 high-level girls teams, and then it goes all the way down to Division 6, which are your 8, 9, 10, and 11-year-olds. And if you're doing those division tiers, you would write it as Division 1. Or if it was Division 3, you would go here. So you'd have to write that in Roman numerals. If you're ever unsure about any of that information for this upper heading, you can always find it on the Advanced Event System website with the actual tournament. You can also ask the first official for help. When you are looking at the teams on the heading right here, that should be their official team name. So you would pull that straight off of the roster that was given to you by the coach before the match started. You can write shorter things right here, like we could have put NLVC or Tribe. That's fine. But for that header, it needs to be the official team name. Looking over at the date, court, and time, it should be entered, the date should be entered with backslashes or dashes in between, and you also have a leading 0. So since it was January, we write 01 instead of just 0. They played on court 3, and they played at 7 p.m., so we had to write that in military time. That's 1900 hours. For the officials, I don't know what her name was, so I just made up Serena Williams. But the first official might have a name badge they can give you, so you can write their name down as last name, comma, first. If they don't have their badge, they can also tell you what their name is and help you spell it if necessary. The second official could be a player from the work team, or it could be a coach, but region rules can differ with that. So if you are in Sun Country, a junior player can R2. But if you were to go play out of region, you have to play by the region rules in the area that you were playing in. So if you go to the North Texas region down in Dallas and they say no junior R2s allowed, you have to play by their rules. The scorer, that's me. So I'm going to write my name. And the work team was Kaizen 18 Black, and they are a team based out of Oklahoma. So they put OK because that is their region code. If you are a Sun Country team, then you would put SC. U. That is for Sun Country. While you were filling out all of this yellow highlighted area, the R1 should be doing their coin toss and going over any other pre-match information for those teams. And they would let us know that Next Level was going to serve from the right and Tribe was going to receive from the left. Okay, we don't write down their team names right here until after that coin toss because a team could have chosen to switch sides. So if they chose to switch sides, then you'd have to mark out all of this information, white it out, and fix it, and that's a pain. So don't write down the team names until you know for sure what side of the court they're going to be on. And we're going to go ahead and do our 3 X's. Next Level is serving, so put an X in the S circle, put an X in the R circle for receive for Tribe, and then an X in this first box for Tribe as a receiving team. That shows that number 15 is not the first server of the match. Number 17 for Next Level, Esteban, is the first server of the match. Now we know who's serving, who's receiving. The coach would start turning in their little lineup sheets, just like that. And we would need to start copying them over. So we can see that we have these Roman numerals on the lineup sheet, and we have Roman numerals over on the score sheet, and we just match those, all of those numbers up over. So it was 15, 16 to 88, 7, 15, 15, 16 to 88, 7, 25. Got it. Okay. And then we also note that their libero is number 23. They are electing to use only one libero. Copied over there, and that X in the second box means only using one libero for that set. And then we also see that their captain is number 16, and we put him in the circle, not the square. Okay, a lot of kids get mixed up on that. That little square right there is for a rostered captain, and we can see that number 16, he was noted on the lineup sheet. He's not listed as a rostered captain. So you have an X in the little square and a 16 beside it. Do the same thing for Next Level's lineup. Get all of that copied over. And then we'll get ready to start. We're going to do pretend scenarios for this first set to walk you through it. And then in the next slide, that would allow you to actually start scoring the match that actually happened. So players are on the court. The liberos have replaced their back row players, and she beckons for serve. When she beckons for serve, that's your start time. So 19:12 is when it started. Esteban is the server, so we're going to check mark him. We're going to give him a little tick. You only tick them if they're the correct server, and that will come into play later. So he serves and he scores a point, and then he serves again and he scores a point. And we keep going, and he gets to 5 before Tribe wins the side out. So we have to write our exit score. How many points are in that points column total? Is 5. Point for Tribe. Our next server for Tribe is number 16. Okay, so he serves, gets a couple of points, and then Next Level wins the rally, so exit score is 3 for Tribe. Point for Next Level. Server is number 50. Now Damien was a middle blocker, and so sometimes our libero, number 20, Jeff, would come and replace him and serve for him. So we're going to do that. So what we do is we triangle the Roman numeral position, because a triangle is talking about your liberos. Okay, so number 20 is replacing him. That's our libero, and he's going to serve instead. So Jeff goes back there, beckon for serve, and Jeff gets going as the server. So when liberos score points, in the points column, we triangle those points. So we triangle the Roman numeral he's serving in, We triangle the points. He's only allowed to serve in that position, position 2, for the whole set. If he tried to serve in a different position, that is illegal. So Jeff was an amazing libero, an amazing player, an amazing server. He used to serve it at me when I coached him. I would shank it, and he would laugh. Great kiddo, love him to death. So he gets on a roll, and he starts serving aces. He gets all the way to 12, and the tribe head coach requests a timeout, and it is granted. So since tribe requested it, we have to write it in their little timeout space, and we have to write their score first. So it was 3 for tribe, 12 for next level. As a score, we would show that tribe has used 1 timeout, so we hold up the number 1, and next level has used 0 timeouts, so we hold up a fist. It's not about how many timeouts you have left, it's about how many you have used. Timeouts over, teams are back on the court. We know that whoever's serving in position 2 is still the current server because there is a tick mark but no exit score. That's why tick marks are important. He serves to 14, and then tribe gets that rally win, so we write our exit score of 14 points. Point to tribe. Server is number 2. The libero is replacing number 2, so we're going to triangle right there. He goes back and serves. He is the correct server, but he doesn't score any points. So we write our exit score. Point for next level. And our server is number 1. So we're going to have a substitution. Number 3, Logan, is going to come in. So we write number 3. And we write the score. Right next level score because it's their sub. It's 15 to 4. Tally that sub at the bottom. Okay. Logan goes back and serves, and he gets it all the way to 18 points. Okay. Tribe wins. They get the point. Notice that kind of work from right to left or left to right. Some people call it like a windshield wiper. Some people call it working in a triangular motion. It's whatever identifies, best for you, obviously. So now we have a substitution for tribe. Number 1 is coming in for number 15. Score is 5 to 18. Okay, and we do have sub-tallied right there. Good to go. Number 88 should be the server for tribe, but let's pretend that number 7 got mixed up and he ran back there and he served. That is incorrect. That is a rotational fault. So here's what will happen. Number 88 should have served, but he didn't. So we are not going to tick that box because it's the wrong server. Only tick if it's correct. We're going to write the exit score right away because they are losing the rally and the serve. Point to next level. Play continues. So now, number 6, Mason, is our server. We tick him. He serves a couple. And then they get their side out. Now the server is number 7, and he's the correct server, so we tick him. And he just starts going on a roll, right? Let's say that this dude had a monster serve, scored all the way to 15 points. Next level coach, it's like, need a timeout. So we write next level score because they requested the timeout. And then we write tribe score, which is 15. Show 1 and 1 on your fingers, showing that each team has used 1 timeout. So now they're back onto the court, and we still have that same server serving from position 5, gets 1 more point, and then next level gets the ball back. Exit score, point. Server is number 13. He serves. He scores a point. Next level loses that rally. Tribe wins it, so we'll give him a point. Just like that. Our server is number 25. He serves. He scores 2 points before next level gets the ball back, so exit score is 19. We have a point for next level. We have a substitution. Number 1 is back in for next level. Score is 24 to 19. Tally it. Number 11 for next level is a server. That's Jackson. He serves. He misses his serve. Give that point to Tribe. We got another substitution. Number 15 is back in the game. Score is 20 to 24. Now note, before Jackson served for next level, as a scorer, you should be given the set point signal across your chest, pointing to next level, showing that they have set point. But that is an informal signal, so the ref could nod or acknowledge it in some way, but they should not copy it. So number 15 goes back and serves, and next level wins the rally. So we're going to write exit score for Tribe at 20, point to next level. And we have to write that 25 somewhere. So let's see, look, all the number 1 service round boxes are done. So now we move to the second round. So we're going to write 25 right there. But we're not going to tick it because Esteban didn't serve that ball. Number 15 did. So all we do is just write the 25. So the set is over. And now we are going to pick up our pen. And we're going to start doing all of this in-between stuff in pen. So we're going to circle first off, let's write our end time. A lot of kids forget to do that. So we're going to do our end time at 19:34. It was a 22-minute match. It's not bad. And there's 3 minutes in between, so it should start at 19:37. We're going to circle those final scores in pen. We're going to record those final scores up here. There we go. We are going to T-bar all of the unused points. You can use a straight edge for this if you want nice, straight, pretty T's instead of wiggly T's. There you go. And let's see here. Let's take a look and see if our substitutions are good. So next level had 2 substitutions used, and Tribe had 2 substitutions used, so that's good. If you think you're all done, okay, we move on to the next set. So the coaches have turned in the lineups, blah, 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 blah. Okay, wash, rinse, repeat. Let's pretend the next level won the second set 23 to 18 or 25-18. Okay. And we can record that winning time, that winning score right there. NLVC 18 boys, 25. Just like that. So we can see that NLVC has won the match 2-0. Just like that. A little side note though, if this was kind of your normal pool play, you would only play 2 sets no matter what. You would not play a deciding third set. So let's say that NLVC won the first set and Tribe won the second set. Then we would write split 1-1. Each team won 1 set. In some tournaments, you will play a third set if you split. okay? But if you're playing a lot of local tournaments, you likely will not be playing that deciding third set to 15. There we go. So now, as an official, I'm going to show you my routine for checking over a score sheet. It does help me catch little small errors, okay? And I'm going to catch a small error just right off the bat. I'm already telling you, I'm going to catch it. If you have your own system that works for you, that's cool. So I start with my start and end times. Here we go. Start, end, start, end. Whoops, don't have an end time. A lot of kids forget those start and end times. So that's usually the first thing I check right off the bat. So let's say it ended at 19:57, 20-minute set. Okay, then I would go captain, 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 libero, 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 libero. Okay, now I check my scores. It was 25 to 20. We're good there. 25 to 18. We're good there. I don't normally mark on the score sheets like this. I'm just doing that for demonstration purposes. And then one thing I always check is my exit scores. Are they ascending? Are they getting bigger? If they are the same or they are getting smaller, something is wrong. Okay. Another thing is sometimes kids do not triangle their libero points. So I could check right now and see that all of the points were triangled correctly for when Jeff served, right? Okay, he did 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There you go. Good to go. In terms of the substitution, so it was 2 subs and 2 subs, right? But what happens when in a match coaches start using lots of subs? When they get to that 8th sub, then we communicate with the coach. You have used 8 subs. You have used 9 subs. You have used 10 subs. You have to word it that way. Also note that in the Sun Country region, we trialed using 15 subs this year. So we would write them right there. And so if we got to that point, then we could tally them up like that. If it was on the other side, then what we would do is we would backslash it, 13, 14, 15. I'm not sure what the rules are going to be looking like next year, so just note that. Could be back to 12 subs, could be 15 subs. As a scorer, if you feel like you are finished with everything, then you would go ahead and sign the score sheet. And then you would give the score sheet to the first official. They would review it and sign it. And then at that point, you are all finished and the score sheet can be turned in. I hope that walking through how to set up a score sheet at a slower pace and going through a few pretend scenarios helps you feel a little bit more prepared. If you feel like you're ready to move on, you can move to the next video and score the first set of this actual match that happened. If not, you can always rewatch this video or back it up to any specific parts and review it until you're ready to try to score. I do hope that this was helpful for you. Thank you for watching and good luck at your next officiating opportunity.